Welcome, everybody. Feel free to say hello in the chat. I see a handful of you guys are here already. And wow, let's just take a second to settle in. It's been quite a while since I've been here. I can't remember quite the last time that I've been on Insight Timer. Let me know if my audio is okay. I've never been in this room on Insight Timer. This is my new office. But yeah, I know for sure I went to Peru in April and I came back and gave you guys a recap on my Peru experience. And I think that was in April. And I think that was the last time that I was live on Insight Timer. It's been quite a while. Jenny Jen says hi. Diane Om Shanti. Nice to see you, Diane. Hi, Shannon. Becky. Oh my God. Stacy, long time no see. Absolutely, absolutely. Let us know if it's your first time with me as well, if you have no idea who I am, and this 999 portal is what caught your eye. Hello, Melissa. Nina asks what I've been up to. So I will give you guys my life update, but first we're going to talk about the 999 portal. I'm going to give you a little rundown of what it is. I'm going to give you guys a rundown on what I experienced when I did a little 999 ritual on the 9th, just to give you some examples of what you can do. And then I will give you guys a life update at the end. So my OGs, you can stay till the end, and all the newbies, I want you to get the information first. Shannon, first time, totally caught your eye. Awesome. Awesome. Frank, new here from Vancouver Island. Welcome. Cassie, good morning. First time. And the title caught your eye. Cool. Awesome to have some newbies. My name is Jacqui Mancuso. I used to come on Insight Timer like 1 to 3 times a week for over 3 years, and I was the astrology girly. I would give timely astrology updates, and then I would pull oracle cards to talk about what was happening. So long story short, my huge life change occurred. I left my husband, my whole life got flipped upside down. I tried to continue here on Insight Timer, but there was something in my soul just telling me to rest. Just take a break, focus on yourself. So that's what I've been doing since April. So that's who I am. Those are my credentials. Good morning, Darlene. Nice to see you too. Thanks, Matthew, for the welcome back. So let's talk about the 999 portal first. And I apologize, this Insight Timer streamer is like so much different than it was. And I think I've seen this thing once, but I'm like trying to look at all these new gadgets and buttons. I feel like it's when you get a new car after you've been driving a 20-year-old car and you try to like, look, where are my turn signals? Where's the radio? That's how I feel right now. All right, so the 999 portal is why we're here. 2025 is a year of a 9. If you add up 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 5, you get a 9. So if you do this with all the years sequentially, we have this cycle. We start, next year will be a year 1. We go through the 9 years, and then the 9 is when you wrap things up, when you culminate what you have learned. So if you have been aware, you might have heard on the internet or elsewhere or your own intuition, that since September is the 9th month, anytime that there is a 9 in the date, being the 9th itself, tomorrow's the 18th, 1 plus 8 equals 9, and then Saturday the 27th, 2 plus 7 is 9. So these are going to give us a 999 portal. And to be honest, the Gregorian calendar is completely made up. So if this resonates with you, great. If not, great, you know. But the 999 portals, they are available to us to just do whatever you feel like doing. Do whatever kind of ritual feels like wrapping things up and culminating things for you. So my partner surprised me like the day before the last 999 portal, because he is not a woo-woo. He's like baby steps into woo-woo. And he was like, you know what? I think it'd be really cool to anoint each other with oils on this 999 portal. And I was like, that sounds great. So I was doing my little prep work, and it crossed my mind to like help him understand that this 999 portal is not just about this month. It's not just about this year. It's about the last 9-year cycle. And now I feel myself wanting to bring in a little bit of astrology to this. I haven't planned anything. This is all just me riffing. So if you're confused and you have questions, type it in the chat. So this 9-year cycle is kind of flowy with astrology as far as the nodes. Okay, we have a south node and a north node. They're always 180 degrees opposite of each other. And they have to do with eclipse cycle, eclipse season, which we are in eclipse season right now. We had our first eclipse, I don't remember, a week and a half ago. We have our second eclipse coming up on Sunday. So we are in the middle of what's called eclipse cycle. So this doesn't happen every 9 year. I don't know. I didn't do the research. But what matters is right now, the present moment. So what I started feeling into is like, holy crap, it's eclipse season. Eclipses are a really good time to shed major cycles as well. Not as long as the 9-year cycles, but eclipses happen every 6 months. So it's like a 6-month purge of, this is all the BS that I've been carrying for 6 months that's not going to help me in my next 6 months. And then you get to welcome in, like, what do I want to create in the next 6 months? So this eclipse season is just adding a little bit of extra boost to this 9-year cycle, this ending of a 9-year cycle. And another reason I'm bringing up eclipses is because the north and the south node, they rotate every 18 years to do a full circle. So right now, the north node is in Pisces and the south node is in Virgo. I was trying to see if I want to explain it now. I'll explain it later. North node Pisces, south node Virgo. So 18 years ago, it was the same. North node Pisces, south node Virgo. But 9 years ago, it was flipped. So when we started this 9-year cycle that we are ending right now, we were in opposite land. The north node in astrology, if you're not familiar, is the point in the sky that the collective is trying to strive towards, like trying to learn lessons about, trying to act more in alignment with. Currently, today, the North Node in Pisces is telling us that it's time to just put your arms up, drop into the cosmic ocean, and say, you know what, I trust, I can't control anything, I'm in divine love, divine timing, and everything's gonna be okay. That's right now. 9 years ago, when this cycle started, the North Node was in Virgo. So 9 years ago, we were all collectively in this energy being invited into getting more particular with what we want in our lives. Having our checklist of what we desire. Virgo is also about the harvest. So Virgo, 9 years ago, we were starting this cycle of being able to be kind of picky and piecey with what we wanted to carry on from the previous cycle. Let me know if you're still on track. I feel like I just went on some cosmic rabbit hole and I don't even know if I'm still making sense. I'm gonna look back at the chat while I get my thoughts back. Cassie says, nice to see you. Awesome. Andrea, oops, first time and irritated in the first moment thinking I'm wrong, then realized you changed the color of your hair. I haven't dyed my hair. I don't know. Whatever. Kelly, so lovely to see you. I've missed your sessions. I have too. I've been back and forth. Okay, Nina. Yes, with you makes complete sense in my world. Awesome. So for this 999 portal, it opened technically in my intuition, right? You can believe whatever the hell you want to believe. In my intuition, this 999 portal started on September 9th. It's going to give us a second go at it tomorrow on the 18th and then the 27th as well. And these are just portal dates that if you're in the mood to utilize, go for it. If you're exhausted on one of these days and you don't feel like doing a ritual, you're not sabotaging your life. It's not like you missed the portal. You can do this practice at any point. It might make it a little bit more strong and a little bit more meaningful if these dates are behind it or whatnot. So I just think that it's cool that we're in this beautiful, magical time of ending a 9-year cycle. Like when I sat down to think about this 9 years ago, so this started in 2017. This cycle started January 1st, 2017. I was 25. And I know, like, I'm 34 right now. I'm not old, but thinking back 9 years ago, like, I was a baby. I had no idea what I was doing. Like, who was I? What was I even thinking? So, partner says, we should anoint each other with oils. And I was like, that sounds right up my alley. Let's do that. So I used my best friend, ChatGPT, to look up all these spiritual tools. And I was asking ChatGPT, like, what are some good oils to help let things go, to help move the energy and just release? And so I grabbed 3 oils for me, 3 oils for him, and we just gave each other little back rubs. And it was really nice. It was very meaningful. I'm trying to like downplay this, but it was a very moving experience for me. So what we did was held the oils to, like, we went one at a time. So I held an oil to his nose, didn't tell him the name of the oil because let's get us out of the frontal lobe. Let's get into the woo-woo part of our brain. And I just had him ignite his senses. And I said, this oil is to help you let go of blah, 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 whatever it was. And then I dropped some. And then I did the second oil, same thing. Third oil, same thing. And you don't need to have a partner to do something like this, okay? You can treat yourself just fine. And I invited him to just like reflect on the last 9 years of your life. You know, it started in 2017. Where were you then? Where are you now? And it was very silent, you know, like, I don't care. You do your internal work. I'll do my internal work. And then we switched. And he held up the first oil was frankincense. It doesn't matter, but that's what it was. And he just told me what it was for. And I don't even remember what it was for. And I was instantly bawling. And if you're new, you don't know, I'm very pro cry. I love to cry. I think it feels so good and so just, to get it out. And so I'm just like bawling, crying. I don't know what's happening. And so throughout this whole process, I mean, like, the same thing is happening through, you know, I cry and I stop and I cry and I stop. But I was reflecting over the last 9 years. So here's the part where I'm going to start talking about myself. So if you're interested in hearing about me and my life journey, you can stay. If not, this is pretty much the entire, this is how to do a 999 portal ritual. So in 2017, January of 2017, I was 1 month out of leaving a relationship. Go figure. Jacqui doing something radical. So then I started thinking about, okay, when I left that relationship, that was a 9-year. So let's start this process reflecting on my last 9 year, 2016. What were you doing in 2016? Feel free, type it in the chat. So 6, 7, 8, 9, yes. 2016 was a 9-year. I was in a 5-year relationship. We were living together. I was very financially dependent on this relationship. I could not do it. I could not make it on my own without being in this relationship. And that was a huge reason why I stayed. I was miserable. I hated it. There was no passion. There was no excitement in my life. I was just going through the motions because I needed financial safety. December of 2016, I don't know what fire arose in me, but something just made me come home one day and say, like, I'm out, see ya, sorry. I probably did it a little bit nicer, but probably not. And I'm not, you have to love yourself. You have to love yourself. So December 2016, I finally get it in me, like, I'm done. I'm burning this to the ground. I don't know where I'm gonna go. I work part-time. I don't know how I'm gonna make this happen. And the universe presented me a room for rent. It was $420 a month. I remember that. And I'm like, you know what? I could make that happen. So I started living on my own for the first time. I was renting a room from a family. But that was like the first step into empowerment. I thought I needed this partner to be financially secure. My feelings told me it was time to leave. So now I'm gonna exit. And everything was fine. Everything was fine. I ended up meeting the guy that I was married to in January of 2017, so like a month and a half after this happened, there was just support right there waiting for me. That doesn't have to do with this story yet. Also throughout this 9-year cycle, 2021 rolls around. I'm in my teaching career. I had worked so hard to be a public education teacher. I had gone to college. I had done all the things. I was having a really fun time in my career until the entire school system changed, and I was like, this is not for me anymore. I was in the process of already teaching here on Insight Timer. Yeah, I think I was teaching yoga at that point. And I was coming into the spiritual awareness of myself, just knowing that I don't align with having to show up on time. I don't align with having to work the way that someone else is telling me how to work. I don't align with being stuck into a payment structure where I have no freedom. And it was a whole bunch of reasons pushing me out. But once again, I felt all of these feelings pushing me out. I had no idea what was in front of me. I had no idea how I was going to support myself. And I quit. I quit on a whim, honestly. I was like on the edge. I was ready to jump. I was really nervous. I didn't know where I was going to go. And I got an email from my superintendent, and I took probably like 5 minutes to process it, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not coming back. Sorry. It was a volatile time. And I've been fine. I took the leap. I had no idea where I was going, and I've been fine. I've been more than fine. Man, I've had so much freedom, and I've met so many amazing people working in this field. I left the public school system to jump into Reiki, astrology, Akashic Records, spiritual coaching, and I've met so many wonderful, lovely people. I've had so many lovely experiences that I wouldn't have had if I stayed in the school system. And then also through this 9-year cycle, my emotions pushed me out of my marriage. I was feeling this isn't for me. I'm not happy. I was trying to fix myself in the situation. I was trying to heal myself and put myself back together. And then a door opened and I said, it's time to jump. It's time to leave. It's time to exit. And everything has been fine. Everything has worked out. This 9-year cycle for me personally also is when I had my spiritual awakening. My spiritual awakening happened in 2020. And I realized that through all of these monumental steps of me realizing I don't need a safety net, I don't need someone else's protection, I am protected. Like these last 9 years is when personally I found God. Whatever that means to me, whatever that means to you, I found trust and support in myself because my life, my connection with the universe. I hope that makes sense. And it was just so freeing while I was doing this oil ritual. I was letting the oils move through me and letting my tears move through me and just reflecting on like, look at you go. Little girl, you were 25 when this started, and like, my goodness, look at who you are today. That's fantastic. So then I started thinking about how am I setting myself up for the next 9 years? I am now aware of what happened the last 9 years. I am now aware of where I was when the 9-year happened 9 years ago. So where am I now? I made a quick video on YouTube. I made a short on YouTube describing this 999 portal. And if you guys watched it and you watched till the end, you saw that I dropped a little bomb for you all. So this 9-year, 2025, I am in the process of ending my time as a maiden. And in February of 2026, I will be stepping into the role of a mother. I'm having a baby in February 2026. So I also just felt so connected to this 9-year cycle that I, once again, am having this huge life change from the year 9 to the year 1. So that's my announcement for you guys. That's what I've been up to. I'm having a baby. I'm super excited. We're not going to know if it's a boy or a girl, so we're just going to be a nice surprise. You don't get many surprises in these lives. again. So that's what we're gonna do. And honestly, like, I appreciate all of the love and support that I felt from my audience as I took this giant step back. I want you guys to know that it was a huge back and forth, and I'm sure if you were following me, like, you felt it. You felt my desire to want to stay and serve and show up and give what I've promised, and it was really hard for me to completely pull myself away. I haven't done any coaching, I haven't done any readings, I haven't done any work since end of March. It was before I went to Peru that I ended all my coaching clients. I haven't been in the spiritual world. I haven't been reading my own cards. I haven't been looking at the astrology chart. I haven't been journaling. I haven't been doing anything spiritual. I have gone completely back into like regular life, and there is this huge calling that I wish I can get back into, but I can just tell it's not the time. It's just not the time for me to dive back into it. So I want to thank you guys for understanding and not having expectations on me and not expecting me, because I was the spiritual teacher, that I have to be the spiritual teacher forever. I'm going to stop and read the comments. I see all the congratulations, so thank you ahead of time for all of those. But I don't want this whole session to be about me. I'm actually really proud of myself that it's only 22 minutes and I'm already done with my spiel. I want to hear from you guys. What is it? Where were you in 2017? What was this 9-year cycle like for you? And I understand if you can't do all of this quick processing right here, right now. I know it's a lot when I'm talking and you want to listen and there's other chats coming in. But I just want to hear, I want to hear from you guys. What has your last 9-year cycle been? And let's see. Hello, Laura. Yes. Cassie says 2017 started a major insane change in my life. Would you like to share? Darlene changed jobs in 2017. And what did you just do? What did you just do earlier in this 9-year, Darlene? I think you retired, yes. Beginning a 9-year cycle of job changing leading to retirement. I love that. Hi, Melinda. So nice to see you too. Karen started a new job in 2017 and now you're ready to leave. How are you feeling about that, Karen? How are you feeling about that? Are you nervous? Are you ready? Lisa, Becky, thank you so much. LK, where have you been? I've been healing. That plain and simple, I've been healing. Andrea, Karen, Mags, Nina, thank you guys so much. Kelly, Sandy, Matthew, was that you? Or is this a new Matthew? My partner's name is Matthew. He likes to go under the radar. He could be hiding in here. Laura, congratulations with your partner again. So for those who know the story, I left my husband, Paul, in July, August of 2024, and I've been with Matt since, and this is all my life with Matt right now. Jennifer LK, thank you. Oh, Diane, yes, I've been wanting to manifest being pregnant since I was probably 17 or 18. And here's another, when I left oh my gosh, let me just talk about this real quick and then I'm going to finish reading the chats. Because here's another major life philosophy that I'm working on these days also. When I was in my marriage, there was a lot that I was super happy with. I loved so many parts of it, but there was a deep part of respect that I wasn't receiving. And at that time in my life, I didn't realize that I deserved that respect. I didn't know how it felt to receive that respect. I had to feel so disrespected to build up the desire inside myself to say, fuck this, I'm out. And so, I don't get down with people who say, that person is a toxic person. That person was so bad to me. You entered into that relationship at some point in your life, right? So I'm realizing that when I entered into that relationship when I was 25 years old, I didn't realize what true respect was. So I was okay with being matched with that person. Throughout the marriage, I kept manifesting stuff. I kept journaling into and scripting and intending and like rituals and all these things, and I was using all of my woo-woo knowledge. I keep calling it woo-woo. That's not out of disrespect, it's just my way of saying it. I kept using all of these like spiritual tools to enhance my life and to try to create the life that I wanted. And I was pushing and trying and efforting and doing. And, you know, there were like little changes here and there. It was like little baby steps. And part of me was like, what's happening? Like, I thought this was supposed to be easy. And then I would do the same things for my own personal life, for my career, for my self-worth, for things like that. And I was making these huge strides. It was just interesting. Then I leave my husband. I land here. I'm getting my feet wet, getting settled. And I start to realize that the things that I was manifesting a year and a half ago are now showing up in my current life with ease, without even asking. Like, it's just here. And so this new life philosophy that I'm working on, that I keep seeing repeated in my own life, is, and I've heard this message so many times in the spiritual community, you are whole. You are whole. You are perfect. There's nothing wrong with you. You are not broken. And I heard that over and over, but like, why does my life suck? Like, why don't I have what I want then? When a fish is sick, what's the first thing you do? Do you change the water? Do you clean the environment where the fish is living? Or do you leave the fish in the dirty water and you tell it to meditate and pray? My new thing is, if you are out of alignment, it's because you're out of alignment with your environment. And you have the power to get up and move. You have the power to change your life. And as soon as I say these like crazy things, I immediately start hearing the counter arguments in my mind. And so the first thing that comes up is like, well, it's not that easy, Jacqui. It's not that easy to just get up and leave my whole life. Like, duh. Obviously, I know that. And what I've learned from my last 9-year cycle is that I had to get so incredibly frustrated and fed up to say, fuck this. Fuck this. And then that fire, that anger, that frustration is what drives you out. And then, oh, it's not that scary. Okay, I just needed to get really pissed off before I could leave. But I feel like since I've gone through these changes so many times, it makes it easier, where I know I can start to feel like, yeah, this is starting to not feel so great. I don't really know how long I want to be here, and I just know that like I have that out. So change your environment. Change your environment. As I'm scrolling through these, I see Nina says heaven on earth. It's here now, 100%, and it's your choice if you want to live in it. Are you choosing to live in your demise because it feels good? I don't know. Everyone's different. I don't know. Nina, good. That's the stillness, the healing, 100%. Shannon says that your last 9-year cycle has been hell, pure hell. What's going on with that? Melissa's health has taken up the last 9 years. I'm not familiar with that saying. Does that mean that it's been improving? I hope so. Sandy was traveling a lot. You've been doing yoga, so a lot of freedom and flexibility and movement. That's what I feel with that. Melissa quit your job 2 months ago and sold 90% of your stuff to go live in a tiny house somewhere. That's... Okay, so Melissa, you were the one who was just talking about health, right? Sorry, there's like 1,000. Okay, your health is taken up, quit your job, sold a bunch of your stuff to go live in a tiny house. So, what, like, I invite you, either here or on your own, to reflect on what was going on with your job in 2017. Like, when you started 2017, what is that cycle that you have completed? Karen is ready to start a new chapter. Laura can't remember, maybe moving. These reflective times, I'm starting to appreciate them a lot more. In my astrology chart, if you know, I have a lot of cardinal energy. I have a lot of initiatory, start the next chapter, go. And even in the human design, I'm a manifester. I'm here to initiate things and then just kind of like walk away from it. So I have a lot of initiatory energy. So personally, I have found it very, very helpful to slam on my brakes every once in a while and say like, wait a second, where have I been? And I do feel like, and maybe it's because of my perspective, but I do feel like that is what society is. It's always, how do we get the next thing? How do you move on? What's the next goal? You know? And it is kind of lost in our society to take the time to stop and reflect on where you've been. And that's where the growth happens. That's where the learning happens. That's where the wisdom comes from. Because you've already lived so much. You've already experienced so many emotions. You've already overcome so many challenges. So it's not about always getting better and doing the next bigger thing. What have I already learned? Because I'm the shit. And so are you. Cassie, married, extremely happy, then world pulled out from underneath me. Divorced, moved states, changed jobs, major medical issues for years. Now, at the end of these 9 years, I have been healing, learning, and changing. Spiritual awakening, quitting my job, starting a new business with a new love for the last 3 years. So as of 2026, Cassie will be living in a different state with your own business. The 9-year cycle makes so much sense now. That's fantastic. That's fantastic. And thank you so much for being an example, for sharing how when life gets hard and crappy and dingy and dirty, it doesn't have to stay there. Oftentimes, it's there to show you what is out of alignment so that you can move on and take that frustration and anger and start the next thing. Congrats, Cassie. Lisa had a meltdown in 2017 and went to therapy. Been on a huge spiritual journey since then. Joined a Buddhist center where she now teaches. Started training to be a therapist in nutrition, which she now is. I didn't realize it was in 2017 that it all started. I just looked back at my diary. Wow, yes. It just gives a little bit of meaning if you want it to. Nina is closing on your dream home, honeymoon in Bali, fur babies, 3 babies in 2020, 22, and 23. That's a lot right there. Medical mystery for my second babe, death of my cousin, my dad, my friends, 2 miscarriages. The cycle, we are calling in farm life for 6 months. 9-9, we were traveling, Kentucky Lake House, Illinois 100-acre farm, making Amish friends along the way, trusting God's got it. Again, thank you for sharing, Nina. Life is never just gonna be happy and sunshine and rainbows. But when you take the time to reflect, like, man, I went through all of this loss. What did it teach me? What values do I now have more strongly because I went through all of this loss? Love that. Carmen, it isn't easy and it takes a lot of courage. Proud of you, girl. Thanks, Carmen. Melissa, fear is a mile wide, but only an inch deep. I feel like I've heard that before, but I think it's just because of the energy we're in right now that hits. That hits. Thanks for sharing that, Melissa. Jenny. Jenny says, good to see you. Feel like I missed some huge news. What do you think, guys? Should I be a tease? Should I invite Jenny to watch the replay? Or should I drop it again? Jenny, the huge news is that we are ending a 9 cycle. We are ending a cycle of 9 years, and I am ending my cycle of being the maiden. And in 2026, I will be stepping into my new role as mother. So I'll be starting 2026, year of a 1, as a new version of myself. I can't tell you guys how like monumental this change feels to me. And throughout my spiritual coaching experience, my astrology, all this insight timer, whatnot, I do attract a lot of mothers. The majority of my clients always have been women in their 50s, 60s, like 40s through 70s, really. Like that is my clientele that is just attracted to me. And I have found myself in a lot of situations where, like, I work with mothers, and a lot of them have teenagers, and a lot of it makes me reflect on my teenagehood with my parents, and I feel like I was giving a lot of perspective to these mothers from the role of me being a teenager, and it was just interesting and weird. And I always felt this like deep connection to motherhood. I've never been a mother. I've wanted to be a mother for my entire life. I'm the baby of 10 kids in my family. I never even had to babysit. I never even got to I changed a diaper for the first time 2 or 3 years ago. In the physical, I look like I'm gonna have no idea what's happening, but in my heart, I can't, I've done this millions of times before. I have gone through the birth labor millions of times in past lives. It's just so ingrained in there. There is zero amount of fear. There is zero amount of worry. It's just, all right, what's happening today? Oh, this is happening today. All right, cool. Let's go with it. So I'm, super excited about that. Bobby, no, it indeed was not easy to leave abusive parents when you know you're stepping away from the entire family and being alone. I hear you. I hear you 100%. I've done that. Not abusive parents, but I've been in that situation of stepping away from your entire life to put yourself first. How important, how special that you finally decided to put yourself first. And sure, there can be a lot of healing that comes with that, with reminding yourself that you're allowed to do that, reminding yourself that you're worthy of doing that, because a lot of times when we have these detrimental feelings, this deep loss, feeling like you're doing something wrong, and I'm sensing this, and if I'm wrong, please tell me, but I have this feeling that when we step away from someone who was in our face and in our ear and telling us all these negative, untruthful things about ourselves, that when we go to put ourselves first, we still hear their voices, and we still hear you're gonna be alone forever, that was such a bad idea, you need these people. And just ask yourself, whose voice is that? Whose voice is that you're hearing? Because the decision to step away and take care of yourself, that came from here. And this heart, this soul, this is the most important compass. Laura, I did that, now I have to do it again. I'm sorry. I don't remember. Oh, moving. You moved, you might have to do it again. Really look at 2016, 2017. I moved many, many times, over and over and over. Maybe this last 9-year cycle was about your, I feel like hopping, like gypsy energy. Did you connect with your gypsy side in these last 9 years? Need to talk about a portal? Yeah, 100%. 100%. So it wouldn't be a Jacqui Mancuso session if we didn't use some oracle cards. So I do have a couple decks next to me. And again, none of this was rehearsed or practiced at all. I had such a monumental reflection last week when I did my 999 reflection. And that fire invoked me to set this up. So let's see. Yeah, all right. So first we're going to start, and both of these decks are brand new. I have only pulled one card each from them. I always justified being in the Hay House card subscription box because I was like, oh, I use the cards for work. It's fine. I use the cards for work. I haven't used anything since April, and I'm still I just like oracle cards. So I have these two new decks. And let me see what Kelly said. Kelly is currently driving my oldest to college. I've been working at their elementary for the last 8 years and feeling the pull to move on. Yoga and health coach for menopausal and midlife women. Need to take the small steps to make it happen. Kelly, I really invite you to reflect on this 9-year cycle as far as this connection with your oldest and working at their elementary school. My mom worked at my elementary school, so I think that hit me a little bit different. But I know how much separation you can feel driving your oldest to college. It's the first one, it's the first time, and I wonder how much magic you'll find in the last 9 years if you reflect. So I want to use this Rebecca Campbell Inner Temple Oracle deck, and from this deck I want to get the energy of what was in our inner temple over this last 9 year cycle. Like, this is a reflection question, and I'm waiting to formulate it. What is it that we found in ourselves over the last 9 years? Yes. What is it that we found in ourselves over the last 9 years? And again, I've literally pulled one card from this deck. So, if you would like to send your energy into the cards that are in my hand, and I've already forgotten how I phrased the question. If someone remembers, can you type it in the chat? What is it that we have found in ourselves over the last 9 years? Thanks, Melinda. You guys are the best. What is it that we found in ourselves over the last 9 years? And let's see what comes out. Exactly, Renee. Pregnancy brain, 100%. I'm trying not to give into it, but North Nodes and Pisces, guys, we gotta give into anything. Well, this is happening. Here we go. What is it that we have found in ourselves over the last 9 years? And I really do want to invite you guys. I know I've said it like 100 times, and when we use just like our quick mental brain, a quick like, oh, she's talking, I'm distracted, let me see, 2017, yeah, maybe this was happening, I don't know, and then you move on, you're not going to find much magic. You might, but like it's very low chance. What have we found in ourselves over the last 9 years? But when you take the time to slow down, whether you go to YouTube and put on some meditation music and sit for 10 minutes, and either with a journal or with yourself, just like clear your mind and reflect, like some buried memories might come up. Some things that you completely forgot you did might come up. If you do keep a journal, flip through your journal. If you do put things in your phone calendar, that's how I reflect a lot. I put everything in my calendar, and then I look back and I just like relive my life through what my calendar says. Go back through your photos and just remind yourself of what you've been doing. That's what I invite you to do. And we will learn what we have found in ourselves over the last 9 years. And give me 1 second. This book is all out of order. It's not alphabetical. Okay. Alrighty, so over the last 9 years, if you're here, either live or on the replay, this card has something for you. So let's see. Oh, look at all that. Look at all that sun. You can't even see it. The card is the holiest temple. Over the last 9 years, we have found the holiest temple. The body is the destination and the pathway home to everything we seek. There's no greater power and no deeper wisdom than that which exists within. Your body has an intelligence beyond what you could possibly imagine. It's always talking to you, sometimes singing, other times screaming. It's through the body that our soul and the divine can speak. Your intuitive senses are forever delivering information to guide you every moment of every day. What's your body wanting you to know today? What does it have to say? How can you call your soul to you more fully? So many of us were taught to dismiss the body, or to see the body as something other than sacred. This is one of the worst crimes there is, for there's no greater comparison for this. There's no greater companion for the soul than the physical body. and no more sacred a vessel than it. This card is an invitation to move your body and to cherish it, to prioritize its needs above all else, to honor it, to shower gratitude upon it. Yes, the body is the destination, not just the vehicle. It will show you how to process and how to heal. Through the body, you'll be able to experience it all, the highs and the lows, the salty and the sweet, the ecstasy and the agony. When we're disconnected from the body, we are disconnected from the sacred and the soul. Your body knows how to move through all that life throws at you. So dance, run, walk, shake. Whatever you do, your body knows what you need, and it will show you the way through everything and anything if you let it. This card comes with the soul inquiry question, and it's asking, how are you being called to move your body today? What have we found in ourselves over the last 9 years is the holiest temple that lives within your body? So today, or if you want to ask yourself this question specifically tomorrow on the 18th and on the 27th when the 999 portals are technically open again, how are you being called to move your body today? So perhaps a dance is going to help you reflect over your last 9 years, or a yoga practice, or a walk, or whatever movement your body calls you to. That might be, if one of those days you just have an urge to go do something that you haven't done physically, or that you have done. If you have an urge to do something physically, there could be things that are unlocked in that. Did that resonate with any of you guys? Did anyone else? Because it's screaming out to me, but I don't want this whole session to be about me. I will share. But over these last 9 years, since 2017, have you felt more of a connection to your body? Have you been able to accept when the body doesn't feel perfect? Have you been able to hold space for and honor the unwanted emotions that your body shows you? Because my goodness, it's my body that started all of these feelings. Your body is the vessel, is the translator for all this cosmic energy. You have an intuition because you have a body. You have senses because you have a body. So when you're sensing that something isn't for you, it is literally your body telling you, do that. Jess, you already know about me. I've seen your picture. I was waiting for you to say hello. Hi, Jess. Bobby, been more in tune with the body. Kelly, yes. Since I've been on this cycle of rest, I was reflecting on this with my partner the other day. Long story short, with this pregnancy, I 100% trust myself and my body. And it is, what's the word? It's different than most women that he has seen go through pregnancies. I'm handling it very differently than anything he's ever seen. And I was trying to help him understand. And I was realizing that since I have been out of work, since I have been able to be in my own flow, since April, I am way in tune with my body because it's just me and her all day long. And I was reflecting on just my past in general. Nowadays, if I have to pee, I get up and I go pee. I don't have to wait for my shift to be over. I don't have to wait for the bell to ring. My body says, I need this, and I say, okay, and we go do this. I get hungry. I walk to the fridge and I get something. I don't have to wait for my lunch to come around. I don't have to make sure I can drive home. I don't have to prepare and bring snacks with me and maybe this is what I'm going to want. It's the little things that I didn't realize were so important when I was in this working life. And I'm not saying that everybody has to do it the way that I'm doing. I just want to make that very clear. But for me, it's been such a shift. I feel so connected. I feel like I get so much more from her because I'm giving her what she wants. I get so much more clear information because I respond to what she needs. And it's this beautiful, like, intimate feeling that I couldn't have imagined until I took this time for me, for my body. Nina says, 100% my body has given me so much. I've learned I can process through anything. You know, I love ecstatic dance. That's right. My body knows, and I am listening. I will say, I am a huge proponent. We're going to pull from another deck also. I am a huge proponent of ecstatic dance. I found it the month before I left my husband, and I feel like I owe so much to ecstatic dance as far as healing, because I know these things that, like, oh, emotions are trapped in the body and, like, things need to be moved through. And what I knew before that was go exercise, go for a walk, do yoga. You know, all of those things are wonderful. Personally, I needed to dance. I needed to let my emotions guide what my body was doing, and then vice versa. And, like, the movements I would do with my body would invoke emotions. And if you have a good set, like if you have a good DJ, it's like a trance. It's like a 90-minute trance. And it just Google ecstatic dance in your city if you are curious, and it could be very healing. Donna says, yes, tough to accept discomfort. It is tough. I'm regaining shape after a long disability, which means often being sore all over. But finally also have the time I need to listen, rest, and recover. Yeah, I can imagine that it is exhausting to not be better, right? Like, it's this long disability. I just want to be myself. I just want to be back to who I am. And I can imagine that so much. I'm actually expecting to have some of that postpartum, which I know is different, but you finally, like, recognizing that you finally have the time to listen, rest, and recover. The universe does everything for you. And I know that it can be really hard to understand sometimes, but this disability was given to you as a gift. So what is the gift? What can you take from it? What have you and your body been able to do together differently than what you were able to do before? Lisa, yes, I remember going to my therapist once, telling her I am sick of feeling anxious, etc., and wanted to get rid of anxiety. That includes in my body. And she said, Lisa, you are a human, you can't get rid of it. It was such a light bulb moment of course it's not going to go away. I can learn to feel it and work with it. My feelings were worse because I didn't want those feelings. Yes, it's attachment to the outcome, being attached to this is how I should be feeling instead of, well, this is how I am feeling. What can I do with it? And I love that. You can't get rid of the energy, but I do love the action of moving the energy. And I even talk about this, like, when I share my feelings, when I talk about what's going on, instead of just keeping it in here, process it, move it, just move it. A lot of times just movement makes it feel like you got rid of it because it's not stuck in that one area anymore, and it's free to go. It's free to do what it has to do because nothing is bad. I don't think any emotion is bad. It's just not where it's meant to be. Just like earlier when I was talking about changing your environment. You are not bad. You are not broken. You don't need to fix yourself. Maybe you just need to move so that you can be more free to go where you gotta go. LK says, yes, I understand that, but I bought a bike that I carry everywhere. Now I'm going for a ride when I have time. That's amazing. Movement is so good. Whatever type of movement is accessible to you and that feels good to you, so good. Darlene entered into retreat last Saturday. This card is perfect. I'm entering a new phase and have no scheduled end date. It's your retirement retreat. I love it. It's your permanent sabbatical. It's your long-term sabbatical. Retirement retreat. I like that. I have one more deck. And I don't yet want to think about the 1 year. I still want to honor this 9 years. So first we asked, what did we find within ourselves over the last 9 years? And it was the holiest temple. So it was connection with your body. And so this second deck, we're gonna tune back in with the body. We're gonna ask the body now, just for guidance. I'm not gonna make it too pointed. So this is the Trust Your Vibes Oracle deck by Sonia Choquette. She's the same woman who made Ask Your Guides. That was my first ever Oracle deck. So this is Trust Your Vibes. Excuse me. So this is just general guidance from the body to assist us as we complete this 999 portal throughout the rest of this month. Okay, so feel free to send your energy into this deck, asking your body for guidance. That was way too many cards. If today's session has been of benefit for you at all, donations are appreciated here. I'm not here for to get my bills paid, but if you'd like to offer an energy exchange, they're always very appreciated. And our body sent us 2 messages from this deck. I miss doing these oracle readings. They're always so perfect. So what does our body want us to, what advice does our body have as we close these 999 portals? Dance in the fire. We're all talking about moving energy and getting rid of things and literally dancing. So dance in the fire is our first message. Your intuitive perceptions are accurate, even if others challenge you or try to convince you otherwise. Do not be deterred by outside influences, no matter how persuasive, for it will be a mistake. It may feel reckless, even crazy, to trust your guidance, but this is precisely what you need to do. It will leave you feeling unstoppable. Your inner light is expanding, and your spirit is ready to take the lead. Trust your inner guidance and commit to what you believe in. Move forward with total confidence, no matter what anyone around you says. Dance in the face and fire of others' judgment and disapproval, for you will encounter plenty of it. Don't let it cause you doubt yourself. You are being tested by the universe. Any pushback is an opportunity to exercise your strength and personal authority. You are finished following, and you are ready to lead. What is it that you guys are being called to that you think other people are going to judge, or you've experienced judgment? What is your intuition demanding that you do for yourself with love that other people don't understand? Because our body wants us to end the cycle of caring what other people think about our lives. This felt really good for me, and I'm trying to think about how much I want to share. Just conscious about time and conscious about other people's opinions. LK, thank you so much for your donation. I very much appreciate it. Darlene, my retirement retreat is just this card. Yeah, was it other people's voices telling you that you need a safety net? That, oh, well, what if you're not going to be okay? Was that other people's opinions? Or was that really yours? That fire is telling you. So my, do I do this now or do I do this after the second card? I'm gonna do it now because this card is about not caring what other people say. I know that a lot of unsolicited advice comes from love. I get that, totally get that. I'm the baby in my family. I've gotten a lot of unsolicited advice. And hi, Jacqui. Oh. Unsolicited advice comes from love, right? So oftentimes in my life, I'm a radical person. I've always been a radical person, but I've made myself small and I have not taken the steps that my intuition is guiding me to because other people who know better, who have done it before, warn me against things, right? And then the more I started just listening to my own gut and my own intuition is when my life started unfolding in the way that feels aligned to me, because I am not these other people. So this card says your intuitive perceptions are accurate, even if others challenge you or try to convince you otherwise. And oh, Jacqui, you didn't hear the bomb. I'm having a baby. Surprise. So even before I knew that I was pregnant, there were two people on the internet that I followed, these random social accounts that had nothing to do with birth and pregnancy. It was just two women who said, I free birthed my baby. And I was like, what is that? And they were just very calm, cool, and collected about it. Like, yeah, my body knows what to do. I just went to my bathroom and the baby came out. Thank you, Jacqui. So it was just, in the back of my mind, and I am me. I do what I want to do. And so when I found out that I'm pregnant, that was my gut reaction. Like, I don't need anybody. I'm very in tune with my body. I'm very healthy. That's what I need to feel safe in my choice to have a wild pregnancy and to free birth my baby. And I was extremely excited to find my own power in this experience. And I can talk about this for hours and hours because I've gotten very passionate about it since June. I'm even starting to feel emotional about it. But when I first found out that I was pregnant, I didn't want to tell anybody, right? Because of that safety period. You don't want to say things too early. But I needed to process. I needed to verbally process. So I started two accounts. And I don't know how much in trouble I'm going to get on Insight Timer. But YouTube and TikTok, you can look up The Sovereign Womb. The Sovereign Womb. And it was me starting to share, hey, internet, I'm a leader. And I'm doing this radical thing. So listen to what I'm doing and learn from it. And I started sharing not even that openly. It was more me just I don't know everything yet. I'm learning. Here's what I'm learning. And I put up one post and I didn't even say anything about doing anything radical. I started the post saying, because I'm doing this pregnancy without doctors, I appreciate learning from real people on the internet because that's where we can connect these days with large groups of people. And then I shared, these are the symptoms I'm experiencing at 6.5 weeks. And I said nothing about you need to free birth and the medical system. So I said nothing like that. And I received so much hate, so much fear, so many oh, well, my friend had a home birth and everybody died. And it was just why do you feel like you need to put that on other people? What compassion is that even doing? So that really triggered me. And I went silent for a long time, which didn't feel good. I felt like I was silenced because of how other people would respond to my love. My reason for sharing these things on the internet was to inspire people who didn't know that they had the choice, who didn't know that they had the power. So, I mean, you can disagree, that's fine. But why Why would it be loving of you to change my mind when I'm following my intuition? Does that make sense? Does that make sense? And I feel like I give that to people because I want it so badly. And I'm not one to convince someone. If they tell me that they're going to go do something that I think is dumb or that I wouldn't do, like, it's your life, okay? I respect you. I'm going to give you your autonomy. What's that word? There's a card that always comes up. The dignity. Give others the dignity of experiencing their own emotions. So, but that's what this card brought up for me. But for you, as you are working through the end of this 999 portal, let your intuition lead you. Because what anyone else tells you about your life choices, that is them putting themselves in your life situation. They haven't been through everything you've been through. They don't know how you feel. They don't know how strong of a pull you have to go do this thing. So don't listen. Don't listen. Your intuition loves you, and it's trying to set you up for success. Sometimes you might have to go through a struggle, but the struggle, as we've talked about all day today, the struggle is to teach you something so that you can come out on top. So life is not about avoiding every obstacle and every heartache. You're going to go through that. You are a human being who is alive. But the more willing you are to go through whatever it is you have to go through, the sweeter it is on the other side because you did it yourself. I'm not saying you can't be supported by other people, but I fully believe that you are meant to make your decisions. Jessica, people love to bring out the worst story when they hear someone is expecting. It's bizarre. This isn't the right place. This isn't the right place to go into that. If you would like to hear me talk about this kind of stuff, hop onto the Sovereign Womb, either YouTube or TikTok. Comment something like that, because it's these comments that will trigger me to like share my thoughts, because I do have thoughts about why that is the case, and this just isn't the right place to share that. Lisa says, yes, Jessica, whether hospital or not, you get the horror stories. I don't understand it, but people seem to love to tell them. Yeah, I would love to speak about this, but this is not the right place. Even, enjoy your sleep now. Yeah, it's just, it is what it is. It is what it is. And it's your choice of who you choose to engage with. People are going to be people, but not everybody is having those reactions. It's your choice of who you get to choose to engage with. So our body gave us two pieces of advice. We've only learned the first one, to dance in the fire. Okay? Follow your intuition. And what anybody else thinks about you is none of your damn business. RuPaul. That's a RuPaul quote. So freeing. Okay, the body would also love to give us another piece of advice as we continue through the ending of this 999 portal chapter. Be generous. Universal law decrees that you get what you give. In other words, you receive blessings from the universe in the same measure that you bring them to others. Life is a mirror. Resist the temptation to be stingy or withhold your energy in all forms. Open your heart and be generous of spirit with those around you. Give freely what you genuinely can to those in need of your time, support, encouragement, and even money, if possible. You can also give smiles, compliments, recognition, appreciation, patience, kindness, and energy to the people around you. This emotional currency matters more than money does. But do consider offering money if necessary and possible. Adopt a spirit of abundance and generosity, and the universe will reward you with the same in return. Consider what you pay forward as an investment in your own well-being. This message is making more sense today to me than it ever has before, because I've heard this message millions of times, especially as I've been leading these spiritual settings, and it keeps coming up and I could not connect with it. I was in a place where I felt like I was giving, and nothing was coming back. And I kept getting this message be of service, give what you can. And I was, and it wasn't making sense to me. I felt like I was depleted. I felt like I had nothing. And I'm not saying that card is wrong, but I was out of balance. I was way over giving, and I didn't think that it was safe for me to pull back. I had convinced myself that if I gave less, I would receive even less. If I was giving this much and receiving this much, if I gave this much, I wouldn't receive anything. And the exact opposite is true. The exact opposite is true. It is the safety and trust in the universe that I've paid my dues. Not entirely for the rest of my life by any means, but I have given freely here on Insight Timer for years and years and years. I have shared knowledge. I have shared personal experience. I have shared emotions with the masses. I put these videos also on my YouTube channel to share for free with everybody. And I was feeling very frustrated that I'm not being compensated for my work. This is bull. This is dumb. I don't want to do this. So those emotions, I listened to my body, I listened to my intuition, and I pulled back. But there is a ripple effect. There is a ripple effect. And it was so hard for me to see in the moment because I was so, I can't think of the word. I was so laser focused on right now. I've given this week, and this is what I've received this week. But the more I pulled back and the more I have let myself just settle into the energy and looked at the big picture, I can see that all of this wisdom, knowledge, advice, whatever I've given here has come back in many ways. And not even specifically from you guys. It's just the energy that I've been openly sharing for so long. Now it's coming back in other ways. Now it's coming through people that I've never met before. And I can validate if this is hard for you to hear right now, if you feel like you're not receiving, it's coming in other ways. And I know it's so frustrating because I was there and I didn't see it. But as much as you are generous with everybody else, why can't you be generous with yourself? Why can't you be generous with yourself? Why were we taught that is selfish? This came out of my mouth the other day. If you continue to put everyone else's emotions before yourself, you have no right to play the victim. If you continue to make everyone else's feelings more important than yours, you are the one abandoning yourself. So you have no right to play the victim. Be generous with yourself as well. That has 100% been my message for the last year plus. Just do you. Put yourself first. It's not as selfish as we've been convinced that it is. Roseanne, the book Birth Without Violence. I'm going to add it to my list. I have so many birth books to read. Thank you so much for that. Melinda, thank you very kindly for your donation. It is much appreciated. I'm going to recap before we leave. Darlene, my retreat is all about giving to myself first, picking and choosing when and where I give to others. Congratulations. Congratulations. It's a journey. It's a journey. I'm still working through it. There's still a lot that I know I need And I know I'm able to give to myself, but it feels so incredibly selfish. But it's not. It's not. If I am not my full self, what am I going to be giving to the people that I want to be serving? Donna, You Get What You Give. It's a great New Radical song. That is on my Libra season playlist. Sarah, this is such an important topic. Spiritual work is so important and valuable. Yes. The Heart in the Womb. I will look into that book as well, Sarah. Thank you so much. The Heart in the Womb. Melinda, this is such a huge lesson that I have been learning in the last couple of years. Yeah, I wonder if it's the reason why everything is getting so crazy insane. Because every man for himself, but like it doesn't have to be in that way. It's so convoluted. And I've said it earlier today, every time I say one of those like radical statements that I know is not the generally accepted narrative, I immediately sense like, oh, well, this is the counter argument to that. And like, every man for himself doesn't have to be a selfish, I get what I need and you can go kick rocks. Let me get what I need so I can take care of you who needs help. Melinda, to put myself first has been a huge lesson, and it was definitely hard at first. It does get easier. But listen, whatever your own intuition is telling you, right? I need to feel loved and accepted, and I'm having a hard time finding people around me who fully love and accept me. So who's the last one who can give that to me? It's myself. Hannah, I was gifted a beautiful book called Gentle Birth, Gentle Mothering. That's on my list. Haven't read it yet. Gentle Birth, Gentle Mothering. I would love for you guys to come follow that pregnancy channel. The Sovereign Womb. Yeah. It really has gotten easier. And now for the most part, I am putting myself first. Congratulations, Melinda. You're a Virgo, right? Don't you have a lot of Virgo energy? That is like the epitome of Virgo. It is the sign of service, but it comes from being in your own energy. Virgo is still on the personal part of the zodiac. It's not until Libra that you start interacting with other people. So Virgo in my mind is like the embodiment of, I know who I am, and I am so full that all I can do is give. But it comes from, you are a Libra. Oh, so I can see that little balance. Happy early birthday, Melinda. All right, guys. So today we talked about the 999 portal and how we're ending a 9-year cycle. We're wrapping up, we're learning lessons, we're culminating this 9-year cycle. And I invite you to take some quiet time and reflect over the last 9 years, because if you try to do it real quick right now, just thinking about 2017 to now, you might miss a lot of stuff. But just let yourself sit in the energy of who you were, what you've been through, and who you are now, and who you are stepping into this next year of a 1. That doesn't start till January. This is the time of reflection. Crazy. So we asked the inner temple, what have we found within ourselves over the last 9 years? And we found the holiest temple, which is our own body. We have connected with our body so deeply, in whatever way speaks to you. So what does the body want us to do as we are culminating this 9-year cycle? First, dance in the fire, follow your own intuition, and know that other people's opinions are exactly that. It's theirs. It's theirs. You don't have to invite it in. You do you. And the body also wants us to be generous. It isn't about giving what you don't have enough of. Wow. Give what you have plenty of to others, and be generous with yourself with what you feel like you do not have enough of. It's okay to be generous with yourself. That's what I took most out of this. But by all means, if you have something to share share it, because it always comes back. It always comes back in one way or another. Well, thank you guys so much for spending this hour and 20 minutes with me. I don't want to make any promises. That's also something that I've been very upfront with. I don't want to promise anything for the future because I go day by day with my life. I just flow with what I feel like doing in the moment. So if you happen to see I do another Insight Timer, sweet. Currently, I don't have anything in mind. Currently, I don't have anything in mind as far as a business offering, a spiritual offering. I still am very much in my healing cocoon, and it felt really nice to check in. It felt really nice to check in with you guys. So I don't have anywhere for you to follow me for spiritual stuff these days because I'm not really doing it. My journey is shifting really into pregnancy, birth, and motherhood. So if that interests you, the Sovereign Womb is my handle. I don't know if Insight Timer would let me talk radical birth. Probably not. Probably not. I need to get away from platforms that censor, because my intuition tells me that I have a message to spread, and if other people have an issue with it, that's for them. And that's okay. Thank you so much, Jen. I appreciate the Venmo. My Linktree has links if you're curious, if you want to look at what I have offered in the past. That's that. Hannah has heard others that have shared about it. Love it. Adriana, catching this late, but so glad to see you, and huge congrats again. Thank you so much. If you guys hopped in late, this will be on my Jacqui Mancuso YouTube channel, so I will definitely share that there. Yes. So nice to see you guys. Enjoy your body. Please follow your intuition above all else, and let other people's voices just drift away. Sending love to all. Namaste. Thank you so much for being a part of my journey. Take care, everybody. LK. Just so happy for you. You made my day. Take care. Thank you, everybody.